this entry. This entry is, I would say, one of the most profound entries in the whole journal because the similarities between what I wrote and what happened are so similar that you can't help but wonder how that worked, or how it's like 2 years before something happened I could write it. But word. So this entry actually happened to me, and I wrote it in a, I guess, like story kind of way. It was like I tried to use an analogy about how I felt at the moment. And how I felt at the moment was that I was undervalued, that I was worth more than my current circumstance or my current life was. At this point, I was living in a warehouse. I was living in my warehouse. I had a 3,000 square foot warehouse that I had moved into a year and a half into my company because I had struck this major deal with a Chinese supplier that we were co-warehousing with now, providing them a supply hub in New York. They were from China, and I had gotten this big ass warehouse, and I had to build an apartment in the warehouse because this was like 3 times my previous rent, and I couldn't afford my apartment and the new warehouse. So I was like, fuck it, let's just go all in. And I left my apartment. I built an apartment in the warehouse. So anyways, at that point, I had felt like, yo, I could be more. My life is not this. There was a few months actually after that. It wasn't even in the beginning, because in the beginning I was optimistic, like, yo, fuck it, I'm living in my warehouse. This is an entrepreneur's life, boom, boom, boom. A few months into it, in the middle of winter, and it was cold, I didn't have heat, and I had no hot water. I was like, fucking shit. And no business, which you'll see longer in. But at that point, I knew it, and this was the story that came to my head. So December 28, 2017, current state of mind. I've been going through a lot of change lately. Oh, and just really quick, the main pre-context is that it was about a month and a half before this, that I had stumbled upon the book called The Kybalion. And that book is the beginning of this whole process. That book had really changed my thought process on life, and just it had just as much of a profound impact on me as Think and Grow Rich had when I was 18 or 19. It was like, oh shit, or Rich Dad Poor Dad at the same time. It was like it made me see life differently. The Kybalion had did that too. So this was 2 months after having gotten that download of information. Current state of mind. I've been going through a lot of change lately. No, not the typical quote, everyday quote, I need to change, yada yada bullshit, but like a real grassroots, thought-bending kind of change. I feel like life is speaking to me in some sort of universal type of way. It has been putting me in situations where I realize the true potential I have. It's like it keeps showing me short snippets of what life could be, should I choose to unrelentlessly and fearlessly walk down my path. Deep down inside of me, I know that I can have all that I've ever wanted. But on the flip side of this coin, I'm becoming all too aware of the new level of discipline that I must develop, and the new higher level of work that I must be willing to put in to be able to achieve the goals at the end of the rainbow. A great analogy to how I feel would be this. Quote, I'm a D1 athlete striving to get to the league. I have coaches that are interested in me, but I am in no way, shape, or form receiving any priority from them. In my head, I know that I'm destined for the league, but I'll probably be like a 5th or 10th round draft pick. Then, all of a sudden, I get a visit from a genie in a bottle, and they show me a video of myself exactly 2 years later being drafted as the #1 draft pick in the country and walking up to put that hat on, while receiving the highest first-year contract salary in the history of the sport. The feeling of sheer ecstasy and pure dopamine that rushed through my bloodstream brought shivers to my body. This is me now. This was a short 5-minute video, by the way. The next scene is a 12-hour long scene that he forced me to sit through and watch entirely. This video was filled with video clips of me working tirelessly, busting my ass in the gym, on the field, day in and day out for 700 days straight. There were clips of me denying going out with my friends, not attending family events, being extremely lonely, and all that comes with going all in. After the 12-hour movie, the genie said one thing before fading into oblivion. He said, "The choice is yours." Now to bring it back, let's put this into perspective. The athlete in the story is me. The genie is the universe. The 5th or 10th round draft pick, that was analogous to how I felt the current status of my business was. I was not really, first round draft pick material. I was, professional, but I didn't feel like I was first round. The 5-minute video clip was analogous to having done 10 million in 1 year, in 1 fiscal year with my solar lighting company. The 12-hour movie was the grind, that motherfucking work, dedication, discipline, decisiveness, dignity, dollars, definite desire, dynasty. Nigga, you know the motto is get rich or die trying. Between my newfound love, the solar lighting company, partnering with Lance, flipping houses, building New World, government contracting, and nationwide LED distribution, I'm sitting on a landmine of untapped potential. I can and will easily pull 10 to 20 M's per year between all of my vehicles. That is the end goal. But for me to get from here to there, it's gonna take 10 to 20x action. This is it, baby. It's my time to get in the ring and show what the fuck I'm made of. I feel like I just turned pro after 8 years of amateurs. And these niggas don't even know. I'm coming for the best of them. I'm coming for all belts. Staleface, creator of his own destiny. So, the profundity or the profoundness, whatever that word is, of this entry is that's my company. That's the year 2020. And that is winning the top performing award. Okay, yeah. And so this was us being the top performing contractor and that for the year 2020. So the idea of me writing this here, and the story being the genie coming by and just like giving me this experience of like, tapping me on my shoulder and putting me through this 12-hour movie or this 5-minute clip of seeing what my life would be like if I was first round draft pick, which is, that the feeling of actually being recognized for all of your work by being the best and acknowledged as the best is something that anybody would want. That's a feeling of, that we all chase. And that feeling had literally in the moment shook me up. And I wrote that this is me now. But it made me feel good in that moment. Actually, it shook me up now, but in that moment, I felt good thinking about getting an award for being the top. So, and then the 12-hour movie being analogous to that grind, which I actually just had the idea of putting a fucking collage together, a whole album of everything that happened in them 2 years. You see so many fucking photos. I got like 10,000 photos of work. We came up. We did every day. We was lit. I bust my ass. Like, it was just part of the I did it. And it's like, that 12-hour movie came true too. It was like, I knew that to get that award and to be here, I mean, and that whole story is just crazy because now that I look back on it, it's like, oh shit, whoa, that happened, and that's the way that it works, and that sets the foundation for everything that happened subsequently, and what's happening on this channel is I want to detail that process to show people how I believe a proven way to manifest a reality is. There's like, this is the way that this process works for me. I journal everything I journal in this book happened. So, for wanted to create his reality from my experience, write it, create it, literally, create it. So, but yeah, man, that shit like had brought me to tears before, because I'll just be like, wow, it's really profound, man. The 5th or 10th round draft pick was how I felt, current status of my business. You know, oh, I don't even have that email. Shit, Alex Valentino, do I? This was the email I got January 26, 2021. And then this was December 28, 2017. So this had that the top performing award happened 2 years after this, but well, no, 18, 19, 3 years, you know. But yeah, that happened, and then we got the award, man. That award happened. Look what happened, you know. So that's how this shit's about to be. It's deep like that. It get like that. That's the table of contents for what we about to be going through, right? If you read me, fuck you twice, not 3 times. This is Egyptian fucking ancient esoteric knowledge to help us get by in this fucking crazy new reality we're in. Everything, nothing's changed. It's just circumstances change. Fundamental state the same. Peace.